In this week's video, I'm going to introduce you to a couple of colleagues who work on the neighbourhood policing team up in the north of the county in Staines. Last week when we did the Facebook live session, there were lots of questions about recruitment, so I thought it would be a good insight to know how life has been different on the street policing the pandemic and what it's like to be a new recruit at this time. In my many years, too many years of policing Surrey, I started here in 1996. I've dealt with many major incidents, we've planned for the Olympics, we've had flooding, but I have never experienced anything like this in my service. It's been a fantastic partnership response, but it's also been very testing at times, very difficult. We've all lost a lot of sleep, working around the clock to keep our communities safe. First of all, let me introduce you to PC Ian Blanshard, up in the team at Staines, and let's find out from Ian how he's been doing. So, first of all, Ian, how have you been keeping? Keeping well?
Yeah, keeping well, sir. Absolutely. It's very, like you say, very strange times at the moment, but we're all pulling together.
And have you had anybody on shift that's had to isolate because of the virus?
Yeah, quite a few people actually. Just kind of precautionary stuff. We just had a colleague just recently had a bit of a chest infection last few days, so he's actually got tested with the new government kind of rolling out the testing, and he came back and he's all fine, so that's good news.
Good news, yeah. We had one of our team members as well use the testing station at Gatwick just last week and had a positive test, but thankfully is doing really well. So how's policing been different during the pandemic?
The first night on lockdown, it did go very quiet. It was a bit eerie. And then it's just changed the dynamics of how we kind of police. I think we're getting a few more domestic situations crop up, and it's just changed it in terms of how we approach jobs when we go there. Just thinking about our safety and the public safety even more so when we're going. So it's just an extra thing to just think of.
Yeah, and I guess we've all got to think about the guidelines on keeping safe and keeping clean, protecting ourselves, protecting others. So
practically there's been some differences with use of personal protective equipment too?
Yes, all different ranges of kind of masks depending on what type of job we go to, what the information we have on the persons that we're kind of dealing with. Sometimes we don't have any information at all, so we have to be even extra cautious on that. And things like, unfortunately, when we go to sudden deaths and things, we're having to be even more cautious with that. So yeah, big change, but we're getting there.
Yeah, good. And we've had this national approach in terms of policing the regulations, or the 4 E's we call it. So, you know, engage, explain, encourage, last resort, enforce. How have you found people responding to that on your beat?
On the whole, not too bad actually. We have given out a few tickets, but on the whole, I would say the general public, when you kind of just give that time to them explain, and they may have sometimes valid reasons, and then they're happy to kind of move on. But yeah, a few times as to be expected.
Yeah. Now I know, Ian, that you're a tutor constable as well, and you've got a tutee that you're working with at the moment, Danielle, who started her first night shift on the day that the country went into lockdown. So I wonder if we can keep a safe 2 metre distance, change places, and we can have a chat to Danielle about how her experience has been.
Scoot stage, right?
So we see the practicalities there of keeping distance in the office. Hi Danielle, how are you?
Good, thank you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. And are you been keeping safe and well too?
Yes, definitely, no problems with me. So yeah, no, all good.
Good. So you joined us in November, I think, and your first night out on patrol with the team was the night we went into lockdown. What did that feel like?
Yes, I mean, it's very strange in terms of putting what we've learned at training school into practice. But then not only that, now receiving kind of the news of lockdown. But yeah, as kind of Ian mentioned earlier on, the first 2 nights were very quiet, but it's definitely picked up since then.
Yeah. And when you say it's picked up, what are the differences that you've noticed?
I would say as time has progressed, we're getting more calls. I feel like people are now kind of starting to go out more, you know, potentially obviously being locked away in a kind of house. A few people are now getting frustrated with.
If you had advice for your local community, what would it be?
Just to, to make sure that they keep themselves well and others by staying indoors. I understand it's frustrating and kind of, if you need to go out to get essentials like food and medication, then that's absolutely fine. But just in order to keep yourselves, your family, and then also other members of the public safe by staying in.
And I know it must have been a strange time to start in policing, but is it what you imagined?
It is, and not, in a sense. I think it's difficult because I don't know what it's like without coronavirus being around. I would definitely have noticed more kind of, your domestic situations that are kind of coming up a lot. But then in turn, burglaries are down on properties, and then also you kind of drunken disorderlies are also down as well, with the pubs being shut.
Yeah, well, let's hope with the support of our communities we're back to more normal time soon. And like you say, we have got things that really worry us, like people that may be suffering for domestic abuse. And if people want to find out more about that, then if they look back at the video we did a few weeks ago, there's plenty of advice on how you can get help in these difficult times. But huge thanks to you, Danielle, and to Ian too, as your tutor, for everything that you're doing to keep your community safe through the pandemic.
I really appreciate it, and stay well, both if you want.
Thank you, sir.
So I hope that's given you a brief insight to what policing is like on the streets during the pandemic. Now is a great time to join policing if you're interested, and clearly it's been different for Danielle. But like Danielle and Ian, there are thousands of colleagues, officers, staff and volunteers across the county every day working hard to keep us safe. And thanks for doing your part. I know we've got more of this lockdown to come and that it is starting to get difficult, but please do stick with it, because together we'll beat this thing.